right, Bleeding Blue podcast, episode 13. It's the boys back at it again for another episode for you guys. It was an absolute great weekend for Leafs and Jays content. We got a lot to get into. So, let's just get right into it.
Mhm.
Leafs had an insane weekend, insane week, 4 wins in a row. How are we feeling? What is the difference between this team and the team before? What do you think? It just all of a sudden everyone's firing on all cylinders. That's the thing. Like it's crazy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think the Riley suspension kind of woke up everyone.
Okay.
I think
Yeah.
a
No,
lot.
that's a good
Yeah,
answer. No. Yeah.
no, it's because I think because Nylander he had some press today and he was saying basically like this win streak that they're on is because of Riley and
Yeah.
how like the end of the game how they lost to Ottawa, one of the worst teams in the league. It
Yeah.
kind of like we got to step it up a bit here, and Riley kind of put that set that tone at the end of the game. So I think they're starting to really feel it here,
Yeah.
especially in this upcoming stretch where we have a lot of tough games. So I think
Next game is against Arizona, but after that, it's gonna be tough.
yeah, there's a lot of tough games ahead, and
These are the dog days, man. Yeah.
I think that suspension obviously it's not good because Riley's one of our best players, but it was good in the sense that it kind of woke up the team. And it's kind of like I'm trying to think of a comparison, but yeah, the Riley suspension really helped them out.
It
Woke up
didn't
a
help
lot of
them
play.
out.
Woke up.
Yeah, it didn't help them
Yeah,
out in the sense of losing Riley, but it helped them out in a wake up call. Like, yeah,
exactly.
yeah. And I think sorry, I kind of interrupted you, but I was just gonna
No, no.
say um, I was gonna say that Riley is he's such a good leader, and I think we should start a petition to have him as the captain over Tavares. But because Riley is he's been here I don't know, yeah, has he been here the longest?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, he's the
yeah.
longest leaf. Yeah, longest
So,
tenured leaf.
Andy's like a great defensive player. He's one of those leaders in the locker room. You just know, Tavares is really good. It's kind of a down year this year, but as far as goes or something like that, like maybe we gotta switch up the captains or something like that. Like, I don't think that'll
I think
make
it
too
should be
much of a difference.
Matthews.
But
I think it should be
Matthews
Matthews in
over
my opinion.
Riley.
I think so because he's obviously he's not as gritty like as Riley is. Tavares,
Yeah,
I feel like he's just off to the side. Like he doesn't feel like a captain to
he's not as
me.
vocal.
Tavares. Yeah, exactly. He's not as vocal as as a Riley or I feel like Matthews when if he does become captain, he'd be very vocal. I'm trying to think of some other players. I feel
I
like
just don't see because I don't see a Marner or a Nylander. Those guys are showy players, very
mm,
individual almost because they're and they're not the type that you'd see just be an absolute dog, get after it. Like they don't fight, they're not like Nylander and they don't take penalties, not saying that defines a leader, but
yeah.
Riley's the type of guy that is like he did after that Ottawa game, have the kind of the last, the last jolt of that game, have the last piece of that game by hitting, I forget the player,
Ridley Gregg,
yeah, exactly.
that
So, and
asshole.
you'd never see Marner do that, obviously, and that's why they're different players. And I think that Matthews being a defenseman gets a completely different perspective of the game than all the other players. All the other dominant and expensive players like
Mhm.
Matthews, Tavares, Nylander, and Marner. I think Riley would just be. I think he's almost like a Giordano, in Calgary type thing, or a Ray Bork, like those
Yeah, yeah. Like
those
yeah,
guys. I think.
Giordano is the perfect example because he was on he was the captain for the Flames before he was on the Leafs,
Yeah,
and he's a great example of what a captain can be because he can also like affect the offensive game. When he was younger, he was really good. Like he won a Norris Trophy
yeah,
back in the day, and he was really good offensively. And he can obviously hit you. He can block shots. I feel like
yeah,
that's what a captain like. He takes the bot.
And he's vocal, man. He's a vocal player
Yeah,
too.
that's what. Yeah, he's a vocal guy. Like if you need to punch someone out,
Maybe another good
Giordano's
example.
there.
Yeah, exactly. You're right. Like I love seeing that. I love seeing Giordano be like a dog because that's like one of my favorite aspects of this game is the emotion to it. We don't see them in interviews, but we see them on the ice like crazy, and that's what I love about the game is like how much of an emotional game it is, and like in the sense of like you got to defend your boys, you got to defend the you guys are a bunch of dogs out there. You got to be
Yeah,
dogs out there, and that's I guess that's yeah that's an aspect of the game, and I think that's an aspect of Riley that he has to him that would make him a good captain. But I mean, yeah, like he had that's the reason I guess why they're on this win streak, and that's the reason why they won 4-1 against the Blues and Bobby McMahon scoring a hat trick, and that guy's on a fucking heater right now.
yeah,
Like no,
he's playing really well. I think Matt. Well, obviously Matthews. That's like a given for him, but like two hat tricks in a row, but like is ridiculous.
yeah,
Like I can't remember the last player. I can't remember like a player like who's been on a streak like this since I don't know. I don't think anyone.
McDavid maybe.
I can't. Well, McDavid, he was. It's kind of similar to Matthews's season a couple years ago, but McDavid, he was kind of like a consistent. Like he didn't have hat tricks. McDavid, he was just a very like one goal, two goal a night.
Hmm.
This is just like Matthews is on a barrage. Like he's just slotting them in.
Yeah.
McDavid's kind of like how many did he have last year? 61, 62?
He had
He was
64, I
like he
think.
was very
Yeah.
yeah 64. He was very like he I don't think he had like Matthews has six hat tricks right now in
Yeah.
this season, which is unheard of. He has more hat tricks than any team has hat tricks like for players, which is insane.
Wow.
And it kind of like I can't remember like Ovechkin had a really good year in like it was '08. He had like 67 or something. Like he was out like playing really well. But yeah, like the last player to score 70 was Solani and McGillney in 92, 93. So I think Matthews can do it.
Yeah.
What are your predictions for how many goals he's going to get this year?
Well, I
He
mean,
has he needs to get 70, he needs to get 20, 21 in no 22, I think. Yeah, 22
that's a lot, man.
in 28 games though.
He
He
can
has
do
lots of
it.
time.
He can do it, but it's like you got to keep that pace up. It's hard to keep that pace up because I think he'll get to 60. He'll get to 60. But I think I'm gonna guess 66.
66.
Yeah.
I think he gets 70.
Okay. Yeah.
I think he gets 71. I think he gets
Nice.
71 goals.
That'd be awesome. That'd be so cool. That'd be so cool.
Yeah, it
I
would
I
be.
I, I gotta say though, it can't be done without Marner though. Usually, like Marner has been like each game you look, Matthew scores a hat trick. Marner has 3 assists. Like it's like he's been helping him out like crazy in terms of just setting up the plays for Matthews because Matthews it's like one timers. A lot of his goals are one timers and yeah, just shots that have obviously been passed to and being in good spots in the offensive zone. And I think like you can't talk about how good Matthews has been in the last little bit without talking about the players like Nylander, Domi, honestly, and like in setting these guys up. Domi didn't play with them in the last couple of games, but like
Matthew
and
Nyes,
nice,
who's
bro.
yeah,
Yeah, nice. Yeah.
that's the other partner he has with Marner. And like I was saying this a while back, like when Babcock was the coach, he would never put Marner and Matthews together. Babcock, he'd always have. I remember he'd have Marner with like then Riemsdyk and Bozak and like Kadri, and then Matthews would stay with Nylander and Hyman, I think it was.
Yeah.
But Babcock just never did it. And then when Keefe came in, he let Matthews play with Marner, and they were just going off.
Yeah.
Like he should have done that from the get go. Like because those two have like amazing chemistry together, and obviously you can see that right now because like Marner is just giving him fucking amazing passes every single time. I think he's been the primary assist for like every goal that Matthews has scored in the last like 5 games,
Yeah,
which is
exactly.
pretty insane. So I'm glad that that's going well, but there's a couple of things that need to like step up a bit in terms of the bottom six. Uh, for especially the two we always talk about these guys, Domi and Bertuzzi, man.
Yeah.
These guys are we bring them in this season to up the productivity of scoring, and they've just done jack
It's
shit,
well, what it is,
nothing.
they have a ton of opportunities. They get a ton of shots and like they get a ton of opportunities. And you think that they just have that just that one finish. They just can't finish. Like that's what it is. And that's what I've been seeing in like the games recently that they've been playing is like they basically have goals, but they're just missing the shot or they're just missing that final touch. They're shooting it at the goalie. Like Bertuzzi's always out front and he just misses he just misses the net or like he'll just like hit it right into a goalie's pad or blocker. Like
Yeah.
that's what happens a lot. And I just think I mean, they tried like with the lineups. I just think this is who they are, like at this point. And they can maybe they could step it up in the playoffs or something like that. That could end up happening, but I think this is just who they are at this point. This is but what it's been. The issue has been like we thought we were going to get more out of them, and but like I still think Domi's been good. I don't think he's been terrible. Like I don't think he's been.
Yeah, but he needs to score more. Like we brought him in to score, and like he's also has that gritty like his dad. Like he used to fucking
He's
get
not like
in
his
fights
dad
and
though.
shit.
He's
No,
like
but his like he's
he's
the
better than his
same.
dad.
Yeah, obviously he's better than his dad, but like he has that like tenacity, like fight someone, and like he just doesn't. He's kind of pussied out since he's been on the Leafs. I feel like there's something with the Leafs where you just when you go there, you go to die in terms of
Yeah,
that shit.
I mean,
So.
sometimes it's like, yeah, I mean, like, yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's been. I think that this is just who they are. I mean, Bertuzzi scored a goal. He had a goal again in that 9-2 win, but yeah, we'll talk
Mhm.
about that in a second anyway. Game one, though, game one was a great game. It was a great game to watch. Blues suck. I mean, they're not a good team, so you got to beat those teams anyway. And
Yeah.
Bobby McMahon, with the hat trick, Nylander with the goal. Nylander's on a little point streak right now. I don't know how many. It's like 5 or 6 games, something like that. So,
Hmm.
and then game two, again, overtime winner. I mean, this is what you expect is you score a bunch of goals, and then this is what we've been through this entire season is you score a bunch of goals and then give up goals and then go to overtime. So, I mean, Matthews had again an insane game where he's scoring hat tricks and Nylander with the
Hmm.
OT winner. And yeah, like I mean, the Flyers, they're an okay team.
Yeah, they're playing well this year. They're like they're a surprising team out of
They're
the East.
overachieving a little bit. They're
Yeah, yeah,
they're
yeah,
yeah, they're outperforming their expected stats, I guess you could say.
yeah. I actually like really like the Flyers. Like they're kind of like they're like they back in the '70s when they were called the Broad Street Bullies with Bobby Clark and
Oh
all
yeah.
those guys. They had that grit to them, and this team definitely has that compared to
Well, it's good to it's
other teams in the NHL. Like there's one player, he was at the NHL All-Star game. I always talk to my buddies about him, how like I really like him in fantasy too, like hockey fantasy is Travis Konechny. Like he can hit guys, he can score on you. Like he's such a good player. Everyone like me and you talked about this. My our guy who loves to watch the pod, Johnny, he hates on Travis Konechny, and he's not a big fan of him. But I always talk about how he's just a complete hockey player, and I hope the Flyers make the playoffs. I'd like to see them play in the first round against a strong team and see how they uh, match up against them.
Yeah, it's good to go back to your the old roots of the Flyers being those Broad Street Bullies. That's what they were a dirty team back in the day.
Oh yeah,
Bobby
big
Clark,
time.
man, you look at that guy. Is he still alive?
I think so.
Yeah. No, I mean,
Yeah,
I
he's a
just
beauty
think
though.
of when I think of him, I remember having this book when I was a kid of like that like was from like made in like the 1990s. My dad had it and it was like just like top 10 like 50 like best NHL players or something, or like best something like that.
Hmm.
And it had like this photo of Bobby Clark smiling, and I was like, dude, that guy is the ugliest player I've ever seen in my entire life. Like those teeth, man. Yeah, I mean, it kind of doesn't make you any attractive if you miss your two front teeth and you look like Sloth from the Goonies. But that's I just
Guy
remember
won
that.
3 Hart trophies, man. Guy was a
He,
fucking player.
hey,
I didn't know that.
a
I knew he was
dog, bro.
solid, but I didn't know he won fucking 3 Hart trophies.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
You know why I didn't realize who's I think is an underrated player like back in the day is Mike Bossy, man. I think he gets
Oh, big
yeah.
time
I think
underrated.
he's like one of the underrated like crazy. You look at his stats, man. Every year is like a in just a great like a 50 goal like year, pretty
Yeah,
much 100 points each year, and he only played for like 10 seasons or something like that. Not
yeah,
like
yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah,
like that.
my dad, he always talks about Mike Bossy. Like he said that if he played longer, or like he just didn't want to, like he didn't stop
He
playing, like
got injured.
he
Yeah,
would
he
be.
said
He says he's the best goal scorer of all time
Mike Bot. No, he
in terms of like just volume and how long he played and how much he scored. Like he said that he thinks he's the best goal scorer of all time.
no that
And I
Islanders team,
honestly,
man. Yeah, they
yeah,
were
I
good. They had
honestly,
like won
that
four. Yeah,
Islanders team is amazing. Like I honestly, I believe him in that sense. Like that I think Ovechkin are probably the top two in my opinion. Like just
consistent
pure
goal
goal
scorer.
scorers,
Yeah,
just pure goal scorers. And I
yeah,
think Matthews, our boy Matthews, might be moving up there soon.
I can see that. Yeah,
Over the years going on, because he's getting up there.
because yeah, Ovechkin and Bossy are like Ovechkin. He's like a 50, like 40 to 50 average year goal scoring, like for up until like kind of like 2 years ago or something like that. Like,
Yeah,
he's been so consistent in
yeah.
goal scoring. And he's got that nasty one timer and that great shot though that helps him out so much.
Yep,
Um,
he has his own office. Literally, the left wing in the ozone. That's his
exactly.
office, man.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, so game 2 again, big win over the Flyers. It was yeah, this is a good way to start like this little win streak. I think we got to win like I think we're going on a 10-game win streak, bro. That's my guess.
You did call it, didn't you? Call it a couple weeks ago. Like we have to go on it.
I should place a bet or something like that. I should
Yeah, yeah, 100%. Put a
yeah,
future bet on the Leafs for
a
the end of the
thousand
year.
dollars. Yeah, I'll yeah, and then
Put
so
the
that
whole
my
bank account
payout
on it.
will be like I don't know, maybe 10K or something like that. So we'll see. I don't have to work this summer if I win.
Yeah.
Yeah, but and then game 3, I got to talk about this cuz I was at this
Mhm.
game. I got to talk about this game. So, me and my buddy went down to the Scotiabank Arena to watch this game, and I got absolutely destroyed, obliterated. Those beers though, it's like I basically paid for like 2 extra tickets well, I didn't pay for them.
Yeah.
My buddy paid for them because I got the tickets. I got them as a Christmas present.
Okay.
So he bought all the beer. So he spent close to like 250 on beers between
Holy
both of
shit.
us. So dude, yeah, we had to go. This is what happens. It's like going to like I'm trying to like I can make a comparison. This is like going to like a UFC match for us, like because UFC
Yeah.
matches are like crazy amounts of money. You
Right.
go to them like once in your lifetime or something like that.
Yeah.
And with the Leafs, because it's so expensive to get a ticket, it was it. We decided that we're just gonna spend as much money on beer and have the greatest time of our lives. And he had no problem spending all that money. You got like I don't know, like 6 tall boys and then like 3 king cans, which is like two in
Yeah.
itself. So you get, yeah, once we got it back on that train, I brought the beer on the train. Maybe I shouldn't have said that, but yeah. And then I just drank it on the way back. I don't know. Yeah. So
You were allowed to bring it out of the stadium with you?
I just hit it. Yeah. I just put it in my,
Oh,
under my
okay.
shirt.
That makes
So
sense. Yeah.
yeah. And there was like crowds of people. They're
Oh
not
yeah,
going to
they
check.
don't give a shit.
Yeah.
As long as you're not like holding them out and you're like
Yeah.
up like it's Simba or some shit. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're fine.
So yeah, no, it was all time.
We don't encourage that though. We
No,
don't encourage
unless you're
bringing.
overage, I don't give a fuck what you do.
Yeah,
We're not role models. We're not adults. Well, we are, but like yeah, but kids, if you're watching, don't do that. Yeah, so it was an absolute great time. And then and yeah, Matthews, when he scored the hat trick, I was like, fuck, I just got this new hat for Christmas. I do not want to throw this on the ice. And
yeah,
my buddy throws his hat, and we're in the 300 level. So I throw
right.
my hat, it just hits somebody in like the 300 deck, so it doesn't even get down there. And then some little kid grabs it, and then they just kept it. So the hat was gone after that. So yeah, no, I was pissed
That's
off at
great.
like that. But then I went and bought this hat, which was actually surprisingly cheap. It was only $20, and
Okay.
so yeah, and then plus yeah, my buddy, he was trying to get me Mitchell. He might be on this podcast sometime. Huge Leafs fan, and he wanted to get popcorn and hot dogs, and I was like, dude, I'm about to explode right now. Like, you
Right.
cannot get me a hot dog. And he's like, no, I'll get you. We'll get a hot dog or something. I'm like, all right, fine. So I got a hot dog, and after that, I was like, damn, I am going to fucking absolutely shit my pants
Yeah.
any second now. And yeah, lots of pee breaks. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
But it was a great time. Like, man, I got to go to more Leafs games or like Colts games or something like that, because it's so expensive, but so much fun. So much fun, especially
Yeah.
when they win 9-2. Like,
Yeah.
just a
That's a rarity.
goal. Yeah, lots of action. Actually, I think it's my curse. Like, I've not a curse, it's a blessing, because I tend to like every like Jays game that I've gone to, like with someone, they've won every single time.
Hmm.
I've not once have I gone to a Jays game other than when I was working there. Obviously, they lost, but if I just
Yeah.
went to like go watch the Jays without like not working, they win. So, I mean, if you want to bet on a team to win, bring me to the game. That's what I'll say. So,
Yeah.
anyone who wants somebody to go to a game with them, I'm there. You have to pay for my ticket though. But yeah, no, it was a classic time, a very, very good time, and a
I
great
haven't been
game.
to a Leaf game in I think 15 years, more than 15 years. So I need to go. I need to go soon
Yeah,
because
bro.
I went to it was I remember the game. It was they played the Blue Jackets. I think it was in 2008, 2009. That season when they were shit. They were absolute garbage. And the Chiefs were probably dirt cheap. And the tickets were probably dirt cheap. And we were up like in the back level, back row of the 300s. And we lost, I think the Leafs lost 3-2. And I remember crying because I was pissed. I was sad because they lost.
Yeah, there
And
was
the
no
guy,
crying at the game on Saturday.
no.
Yeah,
And I remember the guy beside us, me and my dad went, and the guy beside us, or he was below us or above us, whatever, he said, get used to it, kid. So I was like, yeah. So obviously I've gotten used to it and gone through the hard bullshit that this team has put me through. But yeah, I gotta get to a Leaf game soon. I've
yeah.
been I've ever since before after that game, I've been to everything like Raptors games, Jays games, everything in Toronto. So
Jays games are the best, man.
even
Yeah.
Buffalo Bill, that's an experience you have to go through. It's a Bills game. That is a sweet. Just the tailgating itself is awesome. Like
Oh
you
yeah.
gotta, you'd love that, man.
I absolutely would. I would love to. I would love to. I don't know if I'd love to jump through a
No,
flaming
I'd never
table.
do that. I'd never do that. But
I'd
I like
I'd
just the
do the other
tailgating is
fun
awesome.
stuff. I'd eat the chicken wings or something like that. I'd do that. I
Oh
love
yeah,
chicken wings. Like
get
you.
wasted before the game.
Yeah, no, it sounds like an absolute it's another beast. It is another animal, that Bills games.
Yeah,
It's a Buffalo Bill. That's what they are. They're like Buffalo Bills, herds of fucking crazy animals just going absolute ape shit like Buffalo do.
yeah,
So yeah, no, it's that's definitely something you got to try out. That I will definitely want to try
yeah.
out.
Back to that Anaheim game. I didn't watch most of it, but I did watch the highlights after.
Yeah.
The Ducks suck. They're fucking brutal. Uh, my buddy Ethan Shallens, he's a big Ducks guy.
What a fucking
So,
loser.
yeah, I know he is, but he always talks shit about how like the Ducks have so much prospects and like, oh, just wait a couple years, we're winning the cup again. Wait a couple years. No, you've told me wait a couple years. Your prospects, Leo Carlson, Zegras, Troy Terry, you guys just signed Frank Vetrano a couple years ago. Like you guys, no, you guys fucking suck, bro. You guys are
Zegras
gonna stay
fucking
at the bottom
sucks,
of the
man.
barrel.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Everyone likes to talk about how Zegras is, he's so flash. The only time I see him score a goal is a fucking Michigan, and that happens what twice a year,
Yeah.
maybe. So yeah, like the Ducks fucking suck. They deserve that loss. You're gonna stay at the
Oh,
bottom of the Western Conference for a very long time.
they like gave up. It was just like you watch that game, it's like they had no control over the game whatsoever. There was
Yeah,
not a single moment. The shots were like they had like by the like halfway through the second period, they had like 6 shots. Like it was embarrassing. And by then, like the Leafs, I think had more goals than the Ducks had shots.
Both goalies gave up at least 4 goals.
Yeah, yeah,
Fucking
it was great,
hell.
man. It was a absolutely fun time. It's really sucks though, and we talk about this a lot of how the um of how many people in like the lower sections just aren't at their seats. Like it's like and like
Yeah,
by the end of there was like 5 minutes left of the game, and Leafs were like still scoring goals and shit. Like Nick Robertson had a goal,
yeah,
and like that entire section, like that at the very bottom behind the benches, just all empty. And I was like, damn, that's
yeah,
so sad, bro. You're not even gonna get your money's worth. It's like I'm here. I'm gonna be here until they fucking kick me out. Actually, we
yeah.
had to go kind of early because we didn't want to miss our train. We didn't miss the game. We didn't miss any of the game. But
Obviously,
yeah,
but nine to two though, like you can leave early when it's 9-2.
when they're winning, bro,
I think
I want to watch every sweet moment of that. I want to get my absolute money's worth. I want to sit there, drink, talk to the fellas, and watch some hockey. Enjoy that. If it's maybe the other way around, I might leave
that.
early,
Yeah,
but at the same
that's
time,
what I meant. That's what I meant to say.
okay,
If it's
yeah,
the other way around, because I went to the Bills played the Bengals in the playoff game, and they were getting it wasn't a bad score. I think it was like 17-3 or something.
you
They
knew they
were
were gonna
getting
lose,
they were
yeah,
getting blasted, but it wasn't like that bad. We left early, even
yeah,
though we spent a lot of money on the tickets. We left early because we knew that driving back. It's also the situation like we're in America, right? And we have to get across the border, and you want to get
yeah.
home somewhat early. But yeah, like if the game if you're getting blown out, like just go home. Honestly, beat the traffic. You know, I don't blame you, but yeah, like if you're saving up to watch a Leaf game for the first time, stay there the whole time.
Yeah.
Like
Enjoy it.
I do remember when the Raptors were in the NBA Finals, and it was like after halftime, the lower bowl right at the beginning of this third quarter, it was like completely empty, like 50% of the people. Like, don't you want? It's the NBA fucking finals.
Yeah.
Like, stay in your seat. I don't care if you have to go to the fucking bathroom, piss yourself. Watch the game. It's the NBA finals. You probably paid thousands of dollars to be there.
Either that or it's corporate. It's like the corporate shit. It's like it's
Oh
people
yeah,
that just don't care to be there because that's what I would imagine is like that's because that's what's happening is like it's all corporate. Anyway, though, yeah, it was an electric time. Highly recommend people to go to Leafs games because it was a lot of fun. And yeah, I was
if you have the
chanting
money.
when they have Let's Go Leafs. I was chanting let's get sexy because I was so fucking hammered. I don't know why I was chanting that, but it's from I saw it. It was on Impractical Jokers or something like that. So I thought it'd be kind of funny to do. And then I just kept doing it. I'm getting looks all around. I was like, all right,
Yeah,
I gotta stop this.
yeah.
And then that's what happens when I get hammered. Is just I turn into a fucking nuisance sometimes. But it is what it
Oh,
is.
that's what happens when everyone gets hammered, right?
Exactly. Exactly. Game four though. Game four was another.
Technically we were supposed to. This is for the next pod, but since we were filming this a little bit later on, we will talk about it now. Played the Blues again.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
yeah, no, yeah. I guess we should talk about that game because it happened yesterday, and we're gonna be posting it to this podcast on a Tuesday because it was family day. We had to spend time with our families. We need a break as
yeah,
well. Yeah, from this hard work. But yeah, no, it was a great game. I'll say that. It was
Yeah,
another W, 4 in a row now, and the boys are buzzing, and we need to keep winning so I can win on in the bets. So
yeah,
Nyes with the goal, Matthew, Nylander, McMahon, fucking disgusting, and Marner with 3 assists, which is pretty crazy too.
yeah. He's playing really well right now,
So yeah,
Marner.
he's been like they've been all scoring all like Matthews, Nylander, Marner all have points in the last 4 games. So that
That's
just goes to
great.
show the importance that they have on this team. And we've always known that they've had that, but when they're going, the team goes.
Yep.
So it was, yeah, against the Blues. Blues fucking suck. They need to, I used to think they were good, but they're not.
They're like a wild card fringe team. Like they'll be in the race for a
They're like a
while.
fruity little Mickey Mouse, hey, you know what? Wow, the Blues
They
got
have
in.
no
Wow.
goaltending. That's their problem. That's the
No,
problem with them. They have no goaltending. Like they played Joel Hoffer. I don't even know who the fuck that is. Like they need goaltending in order to be successful. But if they like Bennington used to be really good, now he's kind of fallen off a bit.
yeah.
But if
But you
they
know what
get
is
him
good
back, they might be good.
is that we're beating the teams we need to beat. It's like we're beating the shitty teams that we know we're better than. So that's the
Yeah.
thing, is like that's the issue that I feel like this team has every now and then, is like we won't beat, we will lose to fucking like
Ottawa.
Ottawa. Yeah, exactly. Or like Columbus. Like I remember when we
But the thing
lost to
is, we just
Columbus.
destroyed Anaheim, who's might potentially worse than Ottawa. So it's kind of like a weird roller coaster. But when we play the good teams, we play good.
Yeah,
Like Philadelphia, they're
that's who you
playing
got to
they're
be.
playing well this year, and they're playing well this year, and we beat them successfully. So
Exactly.
very happy about that.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so who's your winner of the week then?
I'm just gonna go with McMahon because I feel like Matthews. We've said it so many times. I feel like we got to switch it up. I feel
Yeah.
like I always it's this motherfucker. Like I always have to pick him, but like I want to steer away because I want it to be different, right? So
Okay.
I'm gonna go with McMahon just because he came out of nowhere. That game against St. Louis where he had the hat trick, he wasn't even supposed to play that night. Like he was like I think because Tavares was sick.
Yeah.
It was Tavares and Marner were sick that day, so like they brought in McMahon to play, and he just turned it up. So I'm glad that he's coming up, and he was on the top six players in the forwards on Monday. He
Yeah.
was playing with Nylander and Tavares, which was very good. I like to see that. So happy for him. He definitely gets Player of the Week for me.
By the way, McCabe had an absolutely disgusting goal against, like, a beautiful shot against Anaheim, the Ducks, on, I think it was the power play. I'm not sure, but he scored. I just was thinking about that because when I was
Uncle
watching it,
Jake.
I was like, holy shit, what a goal. I'm gonna go with, though, Timmy Lilligren.
Oh,
he had 3 assists on that game against the Ducks. I mean, everyone had points. Everyone was stat padding at that point. But I mean, a guy that doesn't score, who doesn't get a lot of action because he's a defenseman, still gets action defensively,
hmm
obviously. But I'm gonna give him little love and support for that game.
hmm
I think he did. I think, yeah, because of that game, and he's been solid for us. So yeah, and it's
I
weird.
like
I
that.
feel like the defense do better than or do a lot worse than we think they do. They do a lot worse than like I tend to give them. Like I always
Right.
think like everyone is like doing a lot better, and then you realize like they're allowing goals. But I mean, 2 goals against the Ducks, and then you do have a game against the Blues where they only score 1 goal. It's not terrible. They're not as bad as I think they are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, okay, let's get into some baseball talk because there is a lot to get into. There are some signings that the Jays have done. Minor league signings. They're minor. They're not major, but they are signings, and that is with Eduardo Escobar and Daniel Vogelfat. Excuse me, Daniel Vogelbach. Um, um, so it's exciting. It's exciting news. So I mean,
You definitely set that up. There's no way you just said that like by accident.
Well, I mean, I just thought about it when I was saying Daniel Vogelback, and then I was, yeah. Anyway,
Right.
I'm not.
That's
I'm not gonna
great.
explain my
Anyways.
joke. I'm not gonna explain my joke and ruin it. It was by accident. Anyway, I mean, these guys are on minor league deals, so we can't like look at this as a, oh my gosh, Ross just like, we're signing fucking nobody, not nobody's, like bunch of bums. They're not bums. I mean, Escobar, legitimately, look at the stats, mashes left-handed pitching. You look at his stats, I have them right here.
Yep.
And
Same here.
yeah, so last year was a good. He had 226 between two teams, 236 with the Mets, 219 with the LA Angels. Only had 6 home runs. He was also dealing with an injury that was not known. But the year before that, hit 20 home runs, 240, 726 OPS, not terrible. Everyday player, pretty much. He played
Yep.
136 games, almost 500 at bats. So he's a player that has potential. He's hit like 35 home runs before. He's hit like, yeah, about like most of his career, he's hit over 20 home runs in each season. So he has that pop. He has that power potential. Will we get that from him this year? Who knows? And it doesn't really matter because it's a minor league deal. It's not a major league deal. Play some third base. You can play some second base. So there's potential there. There is potential with him. I like to see it as almost a pressure on players like David Schneider, Spencer Horwitz, Ernie Clement, Addison Barger, Relvis Martinez to just an added level of reason to try and make a major league spot. Obviously, they
Mhm.
already want to make a major league spot, but this is just an added reason for them to try even harder, because those are the players I want to see on this team and be successful, because that means their ceiling's higher. Whereas somebody like Daniel Vogelback or Eduardo Escobar, their ceiling is not as high as players like that.
Mhm.
So that's the thing I'm excited about it to see. And you know what? And if he does well, then have him on the team in spring training. If he does well, he has the potential to be a 20 home run guy. And that's something
Yeah.
that we were missing from last year. And then the other guy is Daniel Vogelback. And I mean, he had a lot of trouble last year. He was not good with the Mets last year. Hit 220 and or 233, sorry, and had a 742 OPS, 13 home runs. You have that Frank the Tank in the back of your head all the time. You're not going to be too successful. Again, he's somebody that has hit 30 home runs. He's got an above 800 OPS against right-handed hitters. He mashes righties. So that's the benefit of him. You know what? He's going to be a DH. We'll see what happens, but I'm excited to see what this guy can do, because he has that power potential. He has it, gets a ton of walks. So, you know what? This could be good. It's not a Matt Chapman, it's not a Cody Bellinger. It's minor league signings. So we have to look at them from a minor perspective. We can't look at them
Mhm.
like this is who these players are on the team. If they don't do
Mhm.
well, just throw them in the minors. So
Yep.
that's where I'm at with it.
Okay. Yeah, I like it. I like it too. I in MLB The Show, the video game, Eduardo Escobar absolutely mashes. So I was very excited to see
Oh yeah.
him be on the squad. Yeah, I always like when we get switch hitters. Just added. I feel like switch hitters, like you hit both sides, right? So it's an added bonus.
Yeah.
Um, to the team. Obviously, Vogelback for the memes will be absolutely legendary. So I'm very excited for Vogelback to be on the squad. Hopefully, he gets some
You're
playing
right
time so we
about
can get
that.
some memes. The meme culture will be up in Toronto, which I'm very excited about because,
Any fucking Vargas.
yeah,
Yeah.
Danny
Yeah.
Burgers. So I'm very excited about that. He'll the burger spots in Toronto. Watch out for Danny Vogelback.
Yeah. His
Uh,
walk-up song is like my milkshakes bring all the boys to the yard. That
no way.
yeah, it is. You know who
Oh
you know
my
who
god.
got him to do that one too, though?
Pete Alonso.
No, Chris fucking Bassett, bro. Chris
Really?
Bassett. Yeah, he was like, you got to do this.
Oh yeah, because Bass was on the okay,
He
okay.
was on the Mets in 2022,
Right.
and that's
That's
funny. Like
right.
he's a great locker room guy. Like from what I've heard
Oh
is that
yeah.
he's like a great locker room dude. He's like you can just tell he looks like a sick guy, you know.
Yeah, he looks
And
like a dude.
he's also you know he's just like a big unit, bro. He's a fucking
6 foot
tank.
270. Absolute beast.
6 foot. I
Absolute
thought he was taller
beast.
than 6 feet. Jeez, still that's pretty tall. Um, anyway, yeah, like he played with Kikuchi, and there was a tweet out
Hmm.
that, or there was an article I saw. I think it was from maybe I'm not gonna say who it was. It might have been Mike Wilner. I'm not a big fan. It might not have been. And it said that he changed his Yusei Kikuchi's son's middle name is Daniel, based off after Daniel Vogelback.
No fucking way.
Yeah, because they played together in
Oh my
Seattle. And
god.
there's an article
This
out there
motherfucker.
talking about how they are both like when you say came to Seattle, Daniel Vogelback was like super, you know, accepting and helped him become a good friend to him. And so that just goes to show if this guy makes a team, that'd be kind of cool. And like from
Yeah.
what I also hear, Eduardo Escobar is also a pretty good locker room guy too. Chris Bassett played with him on the Mets as well. He knows all about him. Um, and then what else was there? Yeah, he's also afraid of cats for some reason. He's like has the biggest fear of cats, Eduardo
Who's
Escobar.
this? Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
Why is this important information that we have to know that he's afraid of cats?
no, I mean like it's just like there's tons of videos of like people just throwing
Oh,
like
oh no, I think you're right. I have seen that.
cats
It
at
was like
him.
it was during the World Baseball
It
Classic,
might have
I
been the
think.
WBC.
And
Yeah.
it was yeah, and they
He was on
in the
Venezuela.
Venezuela. Yeah. In the locker room they brought a cat in and he was just running away. It was fucking funny.
Yeah.
I do remember seeing that. Yeah, that was funny.
There's
Yeah,
some weird
I'm
players like that are just like afraid of like weird ass things.
yeah.
Like Jorge Polanco, who's on the Mariners now. He thought he was sleeping in like a quote unquote haunted mansion, and he
Okay.
was too scared to sleep in his own room, so he went and slept with like I think it was Nelson Cruz in his bedroom when he was with the Twins.
Right.
So I think that is the funniest thing in the world. It's crazy, bro. There's some people that are like have these big phobias. Manny Ramirez is like infamous for that. Like he's like he would
Right.
like sleep with like other players. Like he was too scared to sleep in his own bed.
Oh my God.
Like yeah,
That's
no,
so funny.
it is wild.
That's
But
good though. I do like these signings though that I know more about them and that they're like big locker room guys, which is good. I'm
yeah,
excited that I'm good that Ross is making these moves. I do want the big moves though. I do want a Bellinger or re-signing Chapman. I do want those. But Scott Boras is a bitch, so that's
you're
probably
right.
not going to happen anytime soon.
You
I
know
think
that yeah.
what are your predictions? Like what do you like? Let's just list them off. So who's Scott Boras clients right now? So they have Bellinger, Chapman, Snell. There's one more guy. I forgot the other
I
guy.
think
Montgomery.
Martinez, JD
Montgomery.
Montgomery. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's Scott Boras client as well. So what are your
Okay.
predictions? Let's just list them off. Who do you think? What do you think's gonna happen to each player?
So ooh, I think
I
that I think Bellinger is going to go back to the Cubs. That's
okay.
my guess. And then I think that Matt Chapman is going to go with the I think he might sign with the Mariners.
Interesting.
That's I've heard there was like trade rumors that he was going to sign there. And
Okay.
then I think that Snell is going to sign with the Yankees on like a
Fucking hate that. I would hate.
on like
I would hate that.
an 8-year deal or something like that. I think the Yankees are going to be a bunch of fucking like frauds and sign him to an 8-year contract that's terrible or something like that. That's what I hope. And then Montgomery, I think he'll resign with Texas. I think that was a good fit. He was
Yeah,
awesome for them.
yeah,
Texas
yeah.
loves him. They loved him. And I think he'll go to I think he'll stay in Texas. And they need starters anyway. I think he'll stay in Texas. And I think JD Martinez, who's also a Boris client now, is one.
Okay.
I think he will go to the Padres.
Interesting.
Boom. Yeah.
Yeah, because they lost Soto, so they need some more. They need some more power
There you go.
on
Yeah.
that lineup. That's a good prediction.
Yeah.
I think the Jays will get Chapman. I think they'll re-sign him somehow. Chapman, I think, will be like Kiermaier. Like he likes Toronto, the Toronto area. I think he'll stay. Bellinger, I think he'll go to the Giants.
Okay.
I think because the Giants are big money. San Francisco, he's kind of like that.
I
He's been
yeah.
to the LA area. I think he'll go back to that. Montgomery, I think you're right about that. Texas, they just came off the World Series. He wants to stay with the winners. So Montgomery stay with there. Snell, I think that's a tough one. I think Snell. I think he might re-sign with
With
San Diego.
the Shandy. Okay, yeah, that's
I
not a
think he might.
terrible
I think he.
idea.
I think he might resign.
Yeah.
I
I
don't
think
know
he liked
why.
it
I'm just.
there.
I'm just
Yeah.
guessing because I don't really know much about Snell and who he's rumored to go with. But the Yankees, I would hate that because they already have so many good pitchers. Like they don't need Snell. They already have Cole, who's fucking insane. They already have. They just signed Stroman. They
Stroman's
have
gonna be a fucking
Rodon.
bum with them. Stroman's gonna
Yeah,
be
but
a bum with
they
them.
just signed. It's a starting pitcher, right? They just signed a new one. They don't need another pitcher. They also have the wife beater. What's that guy's name?
They don't have
Uh,
Domingo Herman anymore. Now they
oh,
released
that's
him.
right. That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
It'd be Nestor Cortez, Clark Schmidt.
Nestor Cortez. There you go. That's what I was
Yeah.
thinking about.
And then
Uh,
yeah.
who is the other person? JD Martinez.
Yeah.
You know what? I think he might go back to Boston.
Okay.
I think
Interesting.
that's. I don't know. I don't know. Because he won the ring over there with Boston.
Yeah, he
Was he
won.
there
Yeah,
when they
yeah,
won the ring?
yeah.
Yeah. So I think he might have an inkling. They might.
Boston. I mean, maybe he does, but Boston won't sign him.
No.
They're in like this. Their owner does not care. Like, does not want to spend any money right now.
Oh,
It's
really? Okay.
I don't think they will. I mean, yeah, no, I don't think they would sign him.
Okay.
But
Well, then
maybe, yeah.
scratch that. Scratch that. I'm gonna
Okay.
go with. You know what? Fuck it. Jays get him.
Okay.
Jays will pick up. He'll do a minor league, another minor league
A,
deal or some
a
shit.
minor league
Yeah.
deal to a guy who had
For
33 home runs.
yeah. Why not?
Wow. Okay. I mean, we'll see.
It
Yeah.
probably
No.
won't be. I'm just being a jackass,
No.
but I
Okay.
I I do hope the Jays sign him.
Yeah.
I think he's another. Is he another locker room guy, kind of like the other two
Uh,
guys? I don't really
I
know.
don't know. I
I
don't
don't know. I
know.
don't know too much about
I've
JD, but I
heard
know he
that
rakes.
I've
So
heard from what I've heard is he's the type of guy that's gonna be in the locker who tries to change people's swings. Like he's like tries to
okay,
change it to almost his swing. That's what I heard on Blair and
I don't
Barker.
like that.
So I don't know. I don't know if he's the good locker room guy. He's also 36, but I mean, we just got signed
We
Justin
just got
Turner.
Justin Turner. Yeah,
So, but that's the thing. Justin Turner is going to be a lot primarily DH, third base though too. So, I mean,
is Chapman gonna come back? If is it
I
because if
don't.
Chapman does come back, then where's Vogelback gonna play? Or
Well,
like
it'd
because
be the
Vogelback's
minors.
part? Yeah,
Vogelback will just stay in the minors at that point. I
yeah.
think I don't know. I think I just don't see a world where we sign Chapman because he's gonna want. He still hasn't been signed to a team, and Boris wants like him to be at like a 6 year deal with like close to 200 mil. So I just don't like that for Chapman. Chapman was not.
Mickey, no, it's because Boris is a greedy fuck. Like he just wants money. Like
Oh
he's
yeah, I
yeah,
know.
because that's obviously what all managers want. Like not managers, agents want. But like it's like the guy can't do anything. Like the
Boris is a
players,
bully, man. Boris
yeah,
is like a bully. He thinks that he owns, like he can just run, the free agent market by himself by waiting until the end, until like the end of spring training or spring training. What like players don't want to be waiting this long. It's a known
no.
thing. They want to
Like
be in
the
spring
training
training.
camp starting, like they're going back to get in shape. Like I bet you like all these players, they fucking hate him right now.
They probably are annoyed. Like Matt Chapman's like, okay, what team am I going to be on? Like, what's going on here? I want to sign
Right.
already. Why can't I sign with the team? Same with Bellinger, probably. And imagine what these guys are like. Like
I
they
know
need to get
Snell's
reps.
definitely pissed. I know Snell's definitely pissed. He's the type of guy who would be mad about this.
Yeah, I like Snell,
It
bro.
sucks.
I like him as a I think I like him as a player, like and a person too. He seems like a funny guy.
Hmm.
And also he's a beast on the mound.
Yeah.
Other than the fact that he walks every single hitter, he strikes out everyone. But yeah, I mean, yeah, we'll see what happens, man. Like it's gonna be tough tough to sign somebody like a Chapman, but we'll see what happens. Other than
Yeah.
that, though, there is like a couple other things I was just gonna say.
Okay.
Vladdy lost a ton of weight. We saw that.
Yep.
That dude looks absolutely yoked. I don't know if you've seen the photos.
Oh yeah.
Uriel Rodriguez back into camp. He's
Manoa
he's gonna be
Manoa
exciting.
looks like he's lost a lot of weight too. Manoa looks
He
good.
lost close to 30 pounds, something like that.
Yeah, he
So
looks
it's
good
pretty
too.
good. Yeah,
I'm excited
it's
about that.
it's Vladdy's rather than going for like a more buff type of build rather than like slim down like you did in 2021. He looks like yoked. His shoulders are like
Hmm.
huge.
Hmm.
So yeah, I'm excited to see what those guys are like. That's the thing, man. That's the thing that really matters is like it's Vladdy. It's got to be Manoa, but I think we've got so much pitching depth right now with Rodriguez, Ricky T, Bowden Francis.
Hmm.
Like Chris Bassett came out in a quote with I think Keegan Matheson posted saying that like Bowden or Ricky T could become like the number one guys. That's how good they are, like between our pitching staff. So we've got a lot of
Yeah.
depth and it's pretty exciting. I'm excited to see what the season's like. We got spring training games on Friday. And Johnny, your friend, I don't think I stuttered that once this entire podcast. So that dude can go fuck himself.
Yeah. Fuck you, Johnny.
Yeah,
I know you're watching this. Fuck you.
fuck you. But yeah. Uh we'll have to get that fucker on the podcast sometime.
Yeah.
We'll
Oh,
just flame him.
that would be comedy. That'd be comedy.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Anyway, that ends it for this episode of the pod. Thank you guys for listening. Hope to see you guys back next week for our next episode where spring training baseball will actually be played. We'll get to talk about that. It'll be a lot of fun. Check us out on YouTube, Instagram, Spotify, all the platforms you can think of. We're there on TikTok and
Make
Twitter.
sure to like the reels. We're popping them out every week.
Yeah, man.
Make sure
Like
to
the
check in on
reels,
Instagram and
like
TikTok.
the reels, and I think that was a great episode. And I think people will should listen to us. And if you think other people should listen to us who are listening right now, tell them about us. Tell them about the podcast
Hmm.
because they need to hear us. They need to hear what we have to say about sports. So that ends it for today's episode. Have a good one, everyone, and see you soon.